There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, hope you guys are able to hear me. Let me just see real quick. I'm gonna send out alerts real quick and then we'll get started. It's my first time doing a stream like this on my own channel, and I'm sorry if I look a little bit hazy. I don't know if it's my camera thing, but oh, that probably just made it worse. I apologize. Do I have anything I can see if I can clean my camera off a little bit? There we go. That's much better. Awesome. All right. But like I'm saying, this is my very, very first time doing a stream like this on my own personal channel. But I'm really happy to be here doing this. Let me just send out alerts real quick and then we'll get started. Okay, almost done. Okay. All right. I think that's all the alerts I can do at the moment. All right. So I I guess I'll start right away with what I want to kick this off with. Um, is that as the title says, I'm an army, and I was gonna make a video on this, and like I had everything like recorded and ready to go, but it turns out that I've gotten very bad at editing and posting on a schedule. Um, so I just decided going live would be a little bit easier. Plus, I'd be able to respond to you in real time. Um, and in addition to that, I'd be able to post the stream at the very end so that anybody who missed the stream can always go back and watch it. So that's what I plan to do tonight. I got my buddies in the back. I'm missing a plushie of Mang. I have a pillow. Hold on. Ugh. I had to reach so far that my earbuds fell out. I have a pillow of them, but it's not really like a plushie. And I was gonna go on Amazon at one point, at some point soon, to get one of mine, but then my friend Lee, who you might have seen before on my Disney vlog, if not, they're like an incredible friend. I've known them basically my entire life, and they have a plushie of Mang back when BT21 first came out, which is when they still had the mask on. So Um, so they were like, "Do you want that plush instead?" And I said, "Okay, yeah, sure." So next time we see each other, my plushie collection on the windowsill will be complete. But in the meantime, V is V is there in the middle. He's from the Tiny Tan McDonald's thing. Um, but yeah. So enough with that. Mine's gonna be right here in case you want to see them. But in the meantime, that's the rest of them. So, what I mainly wanted to talk about today was my journey to become an army. Let me see something. I have gotten an alert. And someone has seen it. All right. I'm gonna try and take it slow because not everybody has seen the alerts yet, but we're still gonna have a good time. Hey, I see ya. I see you in there. I got a message from somebody who I sent an alert to, and they said typing noises. Yes, indeed, indeed, typing noises. It's what we tend to do. Just yep, boop in the chat. I see it. Um, but so I guess back on topic. My big thing that I wanted to talk about on stream today was my journey to become an army. And as I mentioned before, I had a video explaining all of this that I had like ready to go, ready to edit, and I never actually edited it. I meant to I meant to edit it and post it like mid-April, and I didn't end up actually doing that. So I think I've gotten pretty bad at like editing and posting on a schedule. So this is kind of a backup plan because one, it's easier. Two, I can respond to you guys in real time. And three, if anybody missed it, it can be posted later. So it's a triple win in my eyes. So we're gonna settle with the live stream. Um so I guess to start off with, the reason why I wanted to do it in April was because of two reasons. One was because of the tour, because I went to see them in Tampa. And the second was mainly because April is a special month for me. Terrible with keeping up with editing too. It's okay. Yeah, for sure. Um but in terms of BTS and being army, April is a very special month for me because it actually started in April. So as of this past April, I have now been Army for 2 years. And I have seen like other fans who have been fans for like ever, like 7, 8 years. And there were people at the concert that were holding up signs saying how many years they've been in Army, which is incredible. Good for them. Sorry, I'm late to the party. But but I'm glad I'm here. And honestly, becoming a fan couldn't have come at a better time. But in the very, very beginning, my friend Lee, who I've known forever, incredible friend, they I wanted to say like I had to ask them this because I wanted to say that they've been a fan as long as I could remember. And that's because I when I was in middle school, I lived with them for a year and we were huge on music and like their top 2 were Fall Out Boy and Taylor Swift if I remember correctly. Um and I swear I mean I could have sworn that BTS was also a part of that. But I guess not, because when I brought that up with them, they corrected me. They said that, They didn't really become a fan until after I had moved out from their house, and, it was when I had just moved to Florida and had just started school down there. So, while their f them, their mom, and their, I think, sister were living with us for, like, a week, just, like, hanging out with us for a week, um, because why not? That's when they really became a fan, where, like, they had heard about them before, they listened to a little bit of their music, and one of their songs came out while they were there, like, around their birthday, and they were, like, super excited, and I guess that's when they showed them to me. Uh, so, so I guess they remember better than me, and I remember also during my freshman year, I had gotten into a game called Mystic Messenger, and I had looked up, like, some videos on it, and there was video compilations about them called MMD, which was basically their models being put in scenarios of, like, Vines or TikToks, mostly Vines, and some of them were dance routines, and 2 of the dances were BTS songs, and I had no idea until I started listening to BTS. So I guess I got, a little bit of early exposure, but I didn't really, like, see any more from them after that. If I'm gonna be 100% honest, I didn't really think about them. Like, I heard about them here and there, and then when I was living in Winter Park, I remember hearing that they had, like, blown up, and they not only were, like, blowing up in popularity around that time, I was also starting to play Just Dance, and on Just Dance, there's 3 songs from him. I later found out that there was 4, um, but on the surface, in terms of, like, being credited to BTS, there's 3. There's Boy With Love, Dynamite, both of those are Just Dance 2023, and in 2024, we got Butter. And of all 3 of those, there's a normal version and an extreme version. And I remember doing Dynamite one day, the extreme version for Dynamite, and I remember loving the choreography, like, and I had also, like, gotten really into Butter as well, mainly because I had to do that song for an achievement to get a certain avatar, called Joyce, I think it is. Um, because Joyce was one of the characters who was doing the BTS routines. So I remember thinking that Butter was super fun. What are the other ones like? Because I don't remember off the top of my head, so if anybody has the achievement for Just Dance 2023, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there are achievements for Boy With Love or Dynamite. Maybe Boy With Love, but I don't think Dynamite. Um, so if anybody out there is watching this after I had posted the stream, definitely correct me if not during the stream. But I remember doing Dynamite. I was thinking these guys' songs are really fun in the game, but I also remember my really good friend is really into them. So what's their appeal? And I decided since Dynamite was super fun, why don't I go back and look at the music video for Dynamite? And I saw it, and most of it was very cool. As for the song itself, I'm kind of weird when it comes to music because with songs, I have to, like, bond with the song before I add it to my playlist, and I feel like if it was with BTS, I feel like it would just be the 3 songs that were on Just Dance because I would've, like, worked with those songs, danced to those songs, I would've loved those songs with all my heart and soul by that point, and that would be why I would add them to my playlist. I wouldn't listen to all of their songs. And when I looked at Dynamite, I gotta say, part of the appeal right away was that I had already done the dance. And when I saw them dancing in the music video and the choreography was the same, I was like, oh my God. Like, it made me happy seeing that I knew some of their actual dance. It was pretty cool to see. It looked like they were having a ton of fun. Outfits were adorable. The sets were adorable. The dancing was super cool. It looked like a great time, but there were 2 shots in the video, not like sound or anything, but like 2 visual shots in the video that was a turn off for me. And it was one with Jungkook and one with Jimin. I didn't know who they were at that point, but, um, for anybody watching, you'd know, which shots they are. It's the shot with them looking directly into the camera with a straight face. And to me, like, even back then, I understood that, like, groups like that have to put on, like, a hot look. And maybe that's hot to people. Not to me. That's not my appeal really with stuff like that. Um so seeing that was kind of a turn off for me. It immediately turned into a shot that I liked because then both of them smiled right after. Jimin like hopped onto Jungkook's back in his shot, which I thought was cute. But those 2 shots, every time I saw that, I would kind of turn off a little bit. So um so that's why I was like, this is cool, but meh. Like as an artist, meh. Because that was my only exposure at that point. And it was just those 2 shots. But this is when the YouTube algorithm actually does something right for once. Because after I had seen Dynamite for the first time, I was willing to just be like, okay, the only kind of fan that I'm gonna be is enjoying their songs in Just Dance. But with YouTube, it eventually recommended me, actually, the next day after I saw that, it recommended me shorts of BTS behind the scenes, behind the music videos, behind the shows, and just like their everyday moments, even some moments from Run BTS. And that's when it clicked for me. Just seeing these moments of these incredible, like, super big celebrities. I knew they had like millions of followers. So seeing these huge celebrities having moments that made them feel so human really changed it for me. It felt good seeing people that I could relate to, whether they're famous or not. And I even like looked up a little bit more on them after I saw that, and I saw that they often don't realize they're being recorded. So all of these shorts and clips were them being their actual selves. They were so human. And that's when it clicked for me. That's when I became a fan. I fell in love with who these people were behind the scenes. And I learned so much more about them, their good days, their struggles, their their routines, their how hard they work with dancing, with music, with their voices, all of it. And I absolutely fell in love with it to the point where I'm like, the stuff that these people go through, and these 7 members have gone through things that I cannot imagine, have felt things that I will never be able to relate to. And yet here they are every single day smiling, having fun, enjoying what they love to do, enjoying what they're here to do. And that came from me at probably one of the most critical points of my life because, as I mentioned, this was while I was living in Winter Park. This was the very first time I was living on my own. And not only was I by myself, I was far away from people that I had relied on. I was far away from my family. I was far away from friends. I mean, by that point, friends were scattered to the winds anyway. So, um, but nonetheless, I had like a few friends around the area, and I was a lot closer to my boyfriend for sure. But most of the time, I felt alone. I felt by myself, whether or not my dog was there. And it was definitely scary going through that. And even though I became a fan in April, I was still like learning a little bit here and there. So I wasn't really like the biggest army just yet. That changed in June because in June, something scary happened. In my complex, I was right next to another complex, and a friend that I had just met in class was in that other complex. So we decided, let's walk to school together. It's only like a 20-minute walk, if that. And for a while, it worked out. For a while, it was fine. But one day I could tell something was off. And when we had reached like the stop, like right before we reached the stoplight, she collapsed on the sidewalk, like belly flopped on the sidewalk, face first, and was having a seizure. And it was extremely hard for me to experience that. Even it was the best case scenario though, because we were right outside of like an oil station, like an oil change place, and someone heard me panic, ran out as I was calling the police. Another guy on his bike stopped to help us. It couldn't have gone any better. The friend was also okay, and as far as I know, she's doing fine, but I haven't heard from her in a while. Um, but in that moment, I had to suppress all my emotions in order to get through it. So by the time I got to school, I felt very sick. Um, and when I got home that day, I saw other shorts of BTS, and I decided to really look more into them, their struggles, their good days and bad days. And I see how much they care for each other and how they lift each other up. It's not just seven individuals that are standing on their own feet. This is a brotherhood of seven people that really, really care for each other. No matter what happens to anybody in this group, they fight for each other. They make sure that each other is okay. And my goodness, it was such an inspiration to see that all of them could go through something so different from what I went through, but different scary things before and during their time as BTS that's still going, and they still get up every day, love what they do, and make each other smile. If that is not strength and hope, I don't know what is. That's why I followed them. That's why I really became an army. And that's when I didn't just become an army for them, I became army for their music. Because April is when I really, really started to become army. June is when I saved all their music. um, because then I could hear them more often if I listened to their music, and I could be reminded that there will still be good days. So I decided to learn more about their voices, who was singing what, and learn about their songs. And it's also when I realized that they were all in the military at that point. So not only did they do that, but I also found out that they went into the military at different times. So that solo projects could keep coming out in a certain fashion, which made sense to me. So by that point, I was like, this is great because now if I follow them on here, I can catch new releases and my god, it feels good doing that. Um, I see your comment, glad to hear she's okay, yeah. The last I heard, she was doing okay, but we haven't really reached out lately. Because the last time I saw her was, like, a day after, or not like a day after, but, like, the weekend after all of it happened. We went to school, and I was, like, helping her out, moving around, helping her, like, carry her backpack 'cause, um, this teacher had dislocated her shoulder. She said that it wasn't really new to her because she had been experiencing stuff like that her whole life, and, but that day I was there to be there and help her. Um, but then she moved back to her own state, so we didn't really keep in touch that much, and we kinda just drifted apart. Um, but it was scary, and that moment did really I feel so weird getting so sensitive about all of this on a stream where I wanna talk about BTS, but it really did break me, because from that moment, I realized that my anxiety had skyrocketed to the point where I had started getting panic attacks at night that felt like heart attacks, and I still get those, to where my chest will feel painful, or I'll feel a pain in, like, my shoulder or my arm, and I'll think, "Oh no, what if I die?" But sometimes it gets to the point where I'm having panic, and then I'll think, "When is it gonna leave me alone?" But BTS has kinda helped me as, like, a coping kinda thing. Because yes, I still get them, but they're able to the moments on video that I've seen are able to be there as ways for me to be like, I'm not the only one who's gone through feeling something like this, and I can get through it. I can do it. So, it's thanks to them that I'm able to see brighter days, for sure. At least when I'm home alone. Um, because then when I'm not, I have a distraction, uh, which is always good. But that's pretty much how my journey as Army started. Going forward, it's pretty much just growing as a fan, being new to Army, learning their songs, learning some of their lyrics, but, some songs were easier for me to learn than others, and, I remember the next year, I saw that Jin was gonna be going on his world tour, and I wanted to go see it. He was gonna go to Tampa, and my mom loves Tampa, so I asked my mom, "Hey, do you wanna spend the day in Tampa with me, and then we can go to Jin's concert together?" And she said, "Sure," because she loved the area. She was able to kinda just hang out, and it would just be a her and me day until we got to see the concert. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys right now. For any armies who are watching this, I don't mean to like put you into this category, but just hear me out, okay? I promise you, my thoughts of army are much better. Just hear me out for a second. I'm telling you that going into this concert, I was very worried about being around other armies. And that's because my first impression of army was not good. Um It was mainly because of the shorts that I would be watching, and I saw moments that where Army made the members uncomfortable, and I was thinking, "Oh, this is probably what Army is mostly, if not full of possessive fans that are like it's like the kind of it's very parasocial is a good word for it. And because I saw a couple of moments, even when Jin returned, really made me not look forward to being in the audience with other armies because I was afraid it was gonna be just like this. My first impression of army was the Opa incident where each of them were at a table and girls kept shouting Opa at Jungkook, and the longer it went on, the more uncomfortable he got. And I felt so bad for him. And then um the and I guess most of it was kind of cute because BTS always wants to make ARMY smile, which is very, very cute, but the okay, the short that angered me the most was of a red carpet event where they were being interviewed by another girl. And say this is the microphone. This girl was touching Jimin the whole time. She was touching his shoulder, his arm. Their fingers brushed when when they were passing the microphone. I swear to you, if it was just the finger brush, he would have been able to pass that off as a mistake. All the members could, no problem. But she kept going. His shoulder, his arm, down here, constantly. And with how sweet they are, he wasn't going to say no. And I think like four other members saw. I think RM even saw. I know V saw. And I can't remember if it was Jungkook or Suga, but other members saw her. And other members were also getting annoyed. To the point where V took Jimin's shoulders and put him over here to create distance between the two. After he did that, though, he smirked. If I were him, I would smirk too. V, on behalf of the members, thank you for helping them against possessive fans like that. Or I guess I could say 감사합니다. What'd you say? I think people forget celebrities are people too. That annoys me so much when people treat celebrities as something else. Absolutely. That is that's the reason why I wasn't really looking forward to being in the concert with Army. And I'm going to tell you right now, when Jin did his comeback meet and greet and concert in Seoul of South Korea, Seoul, South Korea, the meet and greet basically was not like a hello, shake hands, take a picture. It was a hug and pass. So it could move quicker because there was a ton of people. So he wanted to make sure that he got through everybody in a good matter of time. And there were a lot of really cute moments that I saw in that. One girl was wearing her own of his PJs that he wears, which is basically like blue PJs with his cartoon face on it. The fact that she was wearing that, I think, was kind of cute. And he smiled, so he clearly loved it. There was another girl on like crutches, and he was kind of like having his arm around her back, supporting her as she went off. Super sweet. And that is pretty cute. But there was one, I think it was a Japanese fan, that when they hugged, she kissed his neck. And he smiled it off, and she was all like, "Ee!" as she was going off, but I could tell just by looking at his face, that was uncomfortable. I kept thinking, "Are you kidding me right now?" Because fans who do that now are like a bad memory in that experience. You know what I mean? Like of all the good people that Jin met during that show and during the meet and greet, when he thinks of that, I bet if he thinks that like at the most random time, he's feeling ugh, because he didn't ask for that. That's breaking boundaries. All he wanted was a hug. And this issue is very, very serious. And I mean very serious when it comes to the members of BTS. And it's also why they're still single. They don't date. They haven't dated since I think either when they debuted or before. They haven't dated. Jin is the oldest. He's 32 and is still not dating. All the members are nervous about it because if there is even a slight rumor, even if it's false, if there was a slight rumor that someone could be maybe in a relationship with one of the members, fans will find that person and attack them. It has happened many times. It will happen again. So the members don't date because they want to keep that from happening. And it angers me that that's the case. These 7 guys are probably, if you knew them, like if you knew them in person, like if you were in their friend circle, they would probably be one of the best people you've ever met. If you were a member in the group, you would know firsthand how deeply they care about each other. And you'd be in that circle. Like, picture yourself in one member's shoes. All the other members are your brothers. And it's not just that, they care for everybody, the staff, everyone. To the point where everything that they talked about leading up to when their tour started, all they could say was, make sure to be safe when you come in and leave the show. Please be safe and please enjoy it. That's all they want, is for us to be happy and safe. That's it. It's not every day that you get to know celebrities like this and get to see that they are genuinely good people. If anyone deserves lifelong happiness in their life with a significant other, it's them. And as armies, I feel like we should respect that. I would absolutely respect it. In fact, if one of them were having a relationship and that somehow got leaked, what would I do? I would cheer them on. I would be so happy for them. What would other fans do? Probably protest with picket signs and all this, and be like, you shouldn't do that towards both the other person and the member. That's what's happened. And I guarantee you it'll happen again. Even though I hear that Army has matured a bit since they've gone into the military, I can definitely see that. Compared to older moments and from what I see now, Army has definitely gotten better. But all of this was why I was a little bit nervous going into the concert when Jin went on his world tour, because I was thinking, these people are going to be crazy. What if I don't like mesh with them? When we got to the stadium and everybody was lining up to go in, oh my god. My image of Army flipped upside down. In a good way. Because my mom and I were kind of lost. I was trying to get this, the light stick. Because this, out of everything in the concert, this was what I wanted. And I was thinking, is there no booth out here? Are they sold out? And we heard that they were sold out outside, but there would be more inside. And people were also saying, oh, if maybe there's somebody who bought extra, because there are some people who like to buy extra and give them out as freebies and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, would you like some of this? Would you like a little a little pouch. Here's a cough drop. You're gonna lose your voice. Cheering in the show. Have some more of this. Have a necklace. That's where I got this. Going into the theater, they were like, because while we were waiting, I was so worried. I was like, I'm gonna be lost, and the armies were like, "Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. Like, it's gonna be a fun time. You're gonna be great in there. You're gonna be able to get your light stick." They were so encouraging. And every time I got this necklace, I got a bracelet that said worldwide handsome on it. I was surrounded by like the sweetest people ever. I was like, "Oh my god, I found my people." Like these are like genuinely nice people that all they want to do is just support someone. They came to see someone that they love to listen to, and they see someone new and they're like, "Here, have some more stuff. It's going to be fun." Oh my god. Like it felt so nice to be around Army. So now because of Run Jin's concert, I'm thinking Army is freaking awesome. Still possessive, still crazy, but full of good people. But it also depends on where you go. Because I'm realizing that most of the possession happens. Well, I shouldn't say that. A lot of people are more confident behind a screen. So whenever I see one of the members go live, a lot of the comments are like possessive. And I would say now the members have gotten so used to it. I've seen this happen where the members have gotten so used to it that no longer are they getting as uncomfortable on a live stream, but they're playing into it and just making up scenarios. It's really funny. So even the members know that this is going to happen, but they love us regardless. You and they are so smart with how they treat their fans. Not only do they treat Army with the utmost kindness and love and gratitude, but every time they get hate, like I've seen in the past that when they were first getting bombed with hate before, they were showing haters just as much love as they were showing their fans, which practically doubled their fan base on the spot because they were like, "Oh my god, these guys aren't actually that bad." Like when someone responds to you like that with kindness, it kind of makes you step back a little bit. They still get hate. I think some of the members are still getting hate, and it's really not good. I absolutely hate that. But at the end of the day, Army is still fantastic support for BTS. And most of them do the right thing. Even if they would like say possessive stuff online, in real life, they're incredible. They're absolutely amazing. Army is not only there to support the members, but they're also there to support each other. And that's actually a huge reason why I wanted to come on to YouTube, go live, and do this so that Army has a place to talk. I'm going to leave comments open after the live stream is posted so that if anyone has like a conversation that we want to start about BTS, I will definitely talk about it next time I go live. And even tonight, I'm going to keep the live stream open for any thoughts, any questions, anything to talk about. Because I feel like if something happens with BTS, Army needs to come together, talk about it, and support them as best as we can. And the best thing I can do is spread the word about what's going on and provide my own thoughts on it as well as listen to you. So that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm going to do as an army. And my journey might only be 2 years long at this point, but it's only going to get longer. I will, I don't think I'm going to stop being a fan anytime soon. There's no way I can. No way I can stop. it's gotten to the point where anything they release, I absolutely love. And I promise you, I've tried to do the same thing with other K-pop groups. I remember a few months after that, I tried to get into Blackpink because there were a lot of songs on Just Dance where um I also really, really enjoyed them. But even now, like, because I learned a lot more about Blackpink and their members, they are also extremely cute. They're extremely sweet. I absolutely love Blackpink. However, I don't know what it is, but I can't love all of their songs the way that I love all of BTS's songs. Because the ones that I love from Blackpink the most are the ones that I have danced in Just Dance because I have worked with those songs. Other songs, not really as much, but I still listen to them anyway to support them. With BTS, I genuinely enjoy all of their releases. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's style, but I don't know. I love all their music. And with their most recent album, topic change. If with their most recent album, it did come as a genuine surprise with the direction that they went because I could tell that with all of their eras, it went from because they started as like trying to be more of like a rapping group and they did have a lot of rapping songs, but even back then they had songs in a similar style to what they've had over the years because some of their members were stronger in singing than they were rapping, so they kind of accommodated for that and it all came out really well. And then as time has gone on, they did less of like full rap songs and stuff like that. But Arirang feels very similar to their older days. And I don't know why, but that's the charm to it. Not only does it not only does it feel nostalgic to their older style, but it's new, it's fresh. They love it. So I love it too. So um before I continue talking about my thoughts on the album, I wanted to ask, I know we don't have a lot of people currently watching right now, but, if anybody has, like, any thoughts or questions, I'd love to hear them because this isn't just, like, a live stream version of a video that I wanted to make. I wanna listen to you guys. I wanna hear from you. If you have any thoughts or questions about anything, go ahead, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I'm sorry I'm, like, playing with my lip a lot. But, man, I because like I said, I wanna be able to listen to Army, connect with Army a little bit more. Um, and, talk about new stuff, talk about maybe even old stuff. If anybody has any ideas about a topic that happened in the past, um, that we could talk about, I'd love to. I'd absolutely love to. Um, but in the meantime, not only am I here to talk about my experience, I'm gonna talk about, like, some new big things, like Arirang and the concert, because like I said, I saw them in Tampa. I actually brought my boyfriend with me. We both saw them in Tampa, and he loved it more than I expected him to, which to me, it makes me very proud. Um, but oh my god. But like I was saying, Arirang reminds me of their older days. Um, especially their first album with the darker color scheme. But it's even more impressive. And I remember talking to my friend Lee about it, and they said that while they love the album, their only problem with it was that it was all in English, like mostly in English. There was still Korean in it, but most of the lyrics were English for all their songs. And I completely understood that because then they told me that the reason they got into K-pop was because they love how Korean sounds, especially when singing it or rapping it. So that's why they got into BTS in the first place. Um See, I had always heard of BTS. I've had friends who like BTS. At first, never understood the hype. Then again, I was never into K-pop, but now I'd like to learn more. Well, you're in the right spot. You're definitely in the right spot. Um, even if even if you don't end up becoming like a diehard fan, like like I've become, I don't think you necessarily need to be. Um, I just I guess I just wanted to talk. Just wanted to talk about it. Um, but like I was saying, my friend's reason for not liking like for Arirang not being their favorite album, I didn't really see a problem with because to me that's all preference. They still like the album and the songs because of course because it's BTS. but but as for favorites, not for them. Totally fine. To me, it is a masterpiece. And my god, it was worth the wait because I remember when Suga finally got out of the military and they were all done with what they had to do with the military. We were expecting them to make a comeback by the winter because in 2025 the rest of the members came out in June. So Jin, I think I saw him in July. I'm gonna have to double check the when I saw him in Tampa, but I want to say July is when we saw Jin. So I was thinking, okay, after Jin's world tour, they're gonna do a huge comeback, probably by the winter. And it didn't happen. Towards the I think it was the middle of the fall when RM got onto a live stream and said, "Yeah, we're gonna have to push back what you expected of us because to us it's just not good enough and we don't want to give you our project until we feel that it's absolutely perfect." Personally, I can't speak for every army, but generally army was extremely supportive and I'm in that same ballpark. I was thinking that that was probably one of the best responses I've ever seen. And that's one of my favorite responses for any artist because to me, if it needs more time in the oven to bake, it needs more time in the oven to bake. If you take it out early, it's not going to be good enough. Might even be toxic. Like you know what I mean? So it if it needs more time, it needs more time. And me as a fan, if it's not perfect for them, it won't be perfect for me. At least in the same way. So as long as they feel it's perfect, I'm going to think it's perfect. No doubt about that. So if it needs more time, I don't care if I have to wait until next June because I want to see what you're happy with. Basically how I responded to RM saying that. So I was thinking just take all the time you need and we'll be here when it finally releases. But they did post updates here and there. They were more active on social media. J-Hope did another collab. um, which I guess helped with the wait a little bit because the collab was absolutely fire. Um, I also lived in South Korea for a short time when I was younger, and I remember hearing about BTS. Yeah. I would say the whole country over there right now is practically their community. They broke records. They broke records. Like this most recent tour broke pre-pandemic records. Like, this is how big they've gotten. It's even while, like, they were in the military, they were still growing. Exhibit A, I became a fan while they were in the military. Um, but I digress. So, while I was waiting on their release, my biggest thing was just keeping up with their updates on, um haven't they won awards too? There was an awards ceremony where they won pretty much the whole show. And that was just one. They've gotten so many awards over the years, and this year they've been nominated in 3 categories, which actually I should have put that in the description, um, of the live stream, shoot. Because I think the voting is still open for it. I appreciate you getting that on my head, thank you. Cause okay, I have the link. I'm gonna put it in the description of the stream so that you guys can vote. So this is the 52nd American Music Awards, but it's not just for American artists, it's for artists all over the world. And there's a ton of categories. BTS has been nominated in 3 of them. And in this oh, whoops. So for it, you get 30 votes per category. And me being hold on, give me a second. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now the link is in the description. So, me going full army, I used all 30 of my votes on the 3 categories that they were in. Their categories are Artist of the Year, Song of the Summer, and Best Male K Artist. So, there are also tons of other categories in there. If you see an artist or a song that you absolutely love, go ahead, vote for them. I'd love to see them win. But BTS is in 3 of those categories. So if you are an ARMY, please don't forget to support them. The awards is going to be on Memorial Day. It's going to be live. When is it going to be live? I forgot about that. When is it? Okay. So it's going to be live May 25th at 8 p.m. ET, 5 p.m. PT on CBS and Paramount Plus. So is that Memorial Day? Yes, it is. Tune in live on Memorial Day. Okay. And I'm totally going to watch it on CBS because I don't have Paramount Plus. So. But yeah, there's 50 categories in total. So if you see anybody that you like or any song that you like in those categories, go ahead and vote for them. But for any armies who are watching, don't forget to vote. Time is of the essence. We got to help them win. Let's work our magic because Army has always worked magic over the years. We've broken records before. We broke it again this year. We can break it again this time. We can just take it over our knee and just new record, baby. But I digress. Like I was saying before, I didn't want the new album to come out unless they felt it was perfect. So when it was finally coming out in March, I was thinking, now it's finally ready. They're so excited. I've seen trailers for it. It's incredible. I'm ready to hear it. Let's hear it. Let's do it." And I was super satisfied with what I heard. Not only that, I was satisfied with what I saw because of the music videos for what Swim was uploaded at the same time that the album released on Spotify and other streaming services, I believe, but mostly Spotify. And in an instant, in less than 24 hours, the album broke Spotify records. Broke Spotify records. Holy cow. Their tour, their first show, their comeback show in Seoul, I think in Seoul. No, it's not Seoul. Where was their where was their first show? I totally forgot what their first show was. I'm like mixing up uh Jin's first show with their comeback show, but their first show I think got 1 billion people watching worldwide. And I was in work. I was in work and I couldn't watch it. So, excluding a few people, they got 1 billion people watching them live online in addition to the people who were there in person. How insane is that? 1 billion. And just their Weverse alone, like if you go onto their Weverse and you join them, it'll show that there's 33 million people in their community on Weverse. I've met many armies who do not have Weverse. So even though their Weverse shows that their community is 33 million in real life, it is way bigger than that. So much bigger. And it's their album is just it feels so fresh. It feels very, very fresh with music and with their style, everything. And they're so proud of it. Um and when they released their music video for 2.0, oh my god, I was ecstatic. It got to the point where I even learned the dance. Um, if you want me to do the dance for you, let me know. Um, but as of right now, I'll just keep talking about it. But maybe I'll do it later. Um, so and then Hooligan comes out. I remember before the concert, I was trying to get my boyfriend familiar with the songs that he could expect to hear. And when I first played Hooligan, because of how the music is, he thought there was something wrong with his radio until he looked over, he was like, "Oh, it's part of the music." It's a great way to prank someone. And then the concert came, and it felt like heaven. It's where I got this shirt. It's it's huge because their medium and large size is sold out. So this is actually an extra large, but it's a photo t-shirt. We got 3 members up top, 4 on the bottom. It's a nice shirt. I was debating getting the other light stick because I have a new light stick. But I'm gonna be honest, I like my light stick a little bit more. Feel mine is brighter. Um, because so the new light stick, in case you don't have it, and you don't know what it looks like, instead of it being like a big ball of light, it's actually like a stand in the middle that produces most of the light, and the BTS logo in the middle, like where this big ball is, and then surrounding it on the bottom are little army logos, which I think is cool. Don't get me wrong, but I like mine. I like that mine has one logo on one side and the other logo on the other side. Oh, I know it's hard to see, but come on, there it goes. My battery might be starting to get low. It was at 60% when I brought it to the concert, and it was on the whole time. It was even on while we were waiting. We waited until it got, like, super dark. There was a blimp too flying overhead. It was really cool. Um, and once again, armies were super sweet. I got a Purple Heart, I got a pin, I got a sticker, I even caught confetti that was falling from the sky, and I still have it. Um, Lots of great things. I even got my friend a birthday present from it. So, it was all just extremely cool. Lots of fun people. People even, like, make their own t-shirts. It's really clever. Um, but it felt so different. I think one of the reasons why it felt so different was because not only was it their first time in years doing a tour, most of them, all of them except for Jin, had never been to Tampa or never done a show in Tampa. And Jin had loved Tampa so much that he and Suga were insistent on going to Tampa. And when the members got there, they were like, "Yeah, now I know why." Because Army was incredible. Like, not only did they match BTS's energy, they were singing along with every song. Every song. I was doing it too. Every song. And even the members were, like, shocked by it. It was actually very cool to see. And it being a 360 stage really brought something new to it, and it brought a whole different kind of style that worked so well with what they were doing because the stage had different sections in the middle. There was like the very middle circle, and then there was 7 sections around it. Each of those sections, including the middle, can rise up at different times. And it was very interesting. When they were doing their song Run BTS, there was like people running along the side of it. So it was definitely a screen as it was like rising up, and it was really cool. Um they opened up with Hooligan. My god, it was cool. Even Swim was gorgeous. I tried to get as many like videos and photos as I could, but my phone was already getting low, and that's what happens when you blast BTS for 2 hours on your way to Tampa. um but uh but oh my god. It I it's so hard to describe how magical it feels to see BTS on stage. When I was at Jin's concert, I also had this feeling even though I was in the nosebleeds at the time. This time I wasn't in the nosebleeds, but I wasn't up close either. I was in the middle, and it's really hard to describe how that feels. But what I can say about it is that even though they are so far away from you physically from the stands to the stage, the fact that you can see them in person makes them feel like they're an arm's reach away. They felt so close. And to me that was kind of emotional because I look up to them. I look up to all 7 of the guys that I saw on stage. They were having the time of their lives doing super incredible performances. Very clever ways of doing each of their songs, and all of them were just smiling, having fun. And I was I was at the same show. I was there on Saturday. So, I was there when Permission to Dance cut off. And I didn't even realize that Permission to Dance cut off at first until I was watching videos after, but Jimin was ready to continue, the sound cut off, and he's like I was dying. I was dying. It was so funny. And but then I saw later that they were, like, kind of annoyed that that happened. I'm like, "No, no, don't be annoyed." It was so good. So much fun. It was so fun. Fun for us, fun for them, as long as they had fun. Because like, one sound malfunction doesn't really define a show for me. Can't speak for everybody else, can't speak for them, but for me, my god, even with the malfunction, it was absolute heaven. Being there, watching the people that I admire so much having the time of their lives. That's what it meant to me. That's what that show meant to me. It's how much it meant to them. And I feel like I could like repeat myself 100 times, but mm, just but like I said, it's hard to describe the whole thing because words cannot begin to describe like how it feels. Like it feels a certain way. And the reason why I wanted to see Jin so badly when he was going on his world tour was because one of the shorts that I saw said that people say that going to a BTS concert is like being in another world. And when I went to Jin's concert, I knew exactly what that felt like. I know exactly what that means now. And going to the show in Tampa, I got to feel it even stronger because all 7 of them were there. Just feels like but but that's pretty much my experience of it. And I still have quite a bit of time before I want to end this. So I want to hear from you. Uh Give me I was asleep. I'm here now. No worries. No worries. This I said this in the beginning, but this is going to be posted later. So uh if you want to go back and catch up on anything, don't worry. It's going to be posted after the stream is done. So you'll be able to go through the whole thing. Perfect. um but now it's chat time. It's chat time now. Cuz because I was what I was saying before, before you joined, is that a huge reason why I wanted to do these live streams was to discuss with Army, because I feel that if something were going on with BTS, Army would need to come together and talk about it. So I was talking about my journey as Army, my opinions on Arirang, my experience with the concert. So I want to hear your thoughts, your questions, anything Army has to say, and talk about it. Even if we sit here in silence. It's gonna take a while for this to grow in popularity, if it does. Um, but even if it doesn't, I'm fine with my little corner of the internet. And again, for anybody who was expecting this to come up yesterday, I really do apologize. I had like a last minute thing where I had to help out a friend move. And if you know Florida, it's very hot and humid, and I overheat very easily. So by the time it was like, what, 3, 4 in the afternoon, I felt like I was going to throw up. So I was thinking, I can't go live like this. I can't go live unless I'm feeling like I can keep my stomach down. Pretty much how I felt. So that's why I pushed it to today. But going forward, I plan to do these every Friday at 6 as best as I can. So hopefully that time works. Let me see. Do you have an account on Army Twitter? It might be a great way to get people together. I use um It's good that you helped a friend though. Thank you. Thank you. I'm good. She had like a whole ton of people helping her, not just me. So I was able to help her get a head start and she said, "No worries, just head off and get yourself to feel better." Um and everything ended up working out. But as for the army Twitter, I don't go on Twitter anymore. It's a great idea. Don't get me wrong, it's a great idea because Twitter is a very easy way to get a community together. I had a Pokemon account at one point and that got popular like that. Got popular so easily. But so I have a very strong feeling that if I did that again with BTS, I would that would work no problem. Um but it is scary on Twitter. Yeah, ever since it got turned into X, it kind of became a little bit scary for at the very least for LGBT community. Um because I even though I didn't see it personally cuz usually my corner of the internet no matter the platform um no matter the platform on the internet whether it be YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, usually all the stuff I see is pretty tame. Normally pretty goofy or alongside my interests, that I usually look up, like, whenever I go onto Instagram. Now it's full of, like, more BTS stuff, but at the same time, it's full of, like, horses and huskies. So so lots of stuff that only I look up, you know what I mean? But I know that other people are not getting exactly what they want. So, with Twitter, once it really like, it's always been bad, don't get me wrong, on Twitter, it's always been bad, but at least there would be, like, a lid on it because there would be a community of people who would also be like, "Hey, don't say that." Like, you know what I mean? Like, there'll be people, like, calling them out on their BS, but with now that it's X, feels like it got taken over by echo chambers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels a little bit more dangerous on Twitter than on TikTok. Like TikTok, you can just scroll and forget about it. Twitter, it's explosive everywhere. So while the army Twitter definitely seems like a good idea, until Twitter is fixed, I ain't gonna do that. And I remember my boyfriend saying that going on to sorry, I'm sitting on something. Going on to TikTok would also be better. And while I agree with that as well, I'm still a little bit iffy on TikTok. YouTube is mainly my safe point. Um, Instagram, extremely hard to grow on Instagram, so that would just be a dead end anyway. But oh, what'd you say? Had Twitter account, but I don't use Twitter anymore. I'll go on there sometimes because of some game developers I follow on there. Yeah, good point. Good point. The last time I went on there was because of the whole Sniper Wolf situation. I still stopped using Twitter, but I was still following her, so, she kept all of her, like, posts private, and I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta see what more she's doing." And now she won't let you even respond or comment on her tweets unless you are verified. Sniper Wolf is such a disappointment. Disappointment. But, we're not here to talk about disappointments today. All the disappointments can remain in the garbage. We're here to talk about 7 guys who not only are they, like, the sweetest people not only are these 7 guys the sweetest people you're ever gonna know on the internet, you're ever gonna see on the internet, but they are pretty much they're basically as human as you and I, yet the only difference between you and me and BTS is that BTS are 7 humans that are basically treated by the world like gods. They are treated like gods for a good reason, but they're treated like gods. And no way will we ever be able to match that. No one does. No one ever does. It's like they're the only people who are who have that kind of podium. You know what I mean? Like they had not really podium, but like I don't wanna say position either. Like, there doesn't really seem to be, like, a correct word to describe, like, what BTS is to the world. Yet, they're just as normal as anybody. I guess, yeah, platform, maybe. Um, maybe. I often don't really know what I'm trying to say, but you get what I mean, though, because they are, like, because 'cause they're, like, just as human as you and I, yet they're treated like it's the best word I could come up with. Yeah. At least they're being understood. I appreciate that. Uh, but, like, they're they're just they're so normal. So, like, their time in Tampa, their shows were Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday. They had a day off on Monday. What did they do on their day off? They played tennis. That's it. They played tennis, they went to a restaurant, they enjoyed the sunset, the pier, just normal everyday stuff. They could just chill, they could just relax, have a lot of fun, which, by God, I'm glad they did. Tampa's beautiful once you get past I-4. It's just the one road. After you get through the one road, it's basically like any other city, but it's nice and cheerful. It's very, very nice there. Um, is there anything Words are hard, man. Agreed. Absolutely, for sure. So, here's another question that I wanna ask. Is there any thoughts on a rerun that you'd like to say? Any thoughts at all? It could be good, it could be bad, it could be ugly, anything. Anything at all. Because 'Cause I've said my thoughts on it. I absolutely love it, but, uh but I wanna ask you guys. You already know what I'm gonna say. I actually brought you up before, about how even though you liked it, it wasn't as, it was there were more songs in Korean. Yeah, that's what I said. That even though you liked it, you like how Korean sounds. I explained that before. Everybody's outlook on the albums are gonna be different, but to me, what I said my charm was before about it was not only does it remind me of their older days with their first album, it feels very fresh. Like it's both the new and the old. It's both nostalgic and they come back kicking ass. And I also said before that when the album first came out and I was learning the music as well as their music videos, I learned how to do their dance for 2.0. And I could do it tonight or next time. It's up to you. I was about to say tomorrow. I'm not going live tomorrow. Probably next week. I'll go live next week, but it's up to you because I learned the dance to 2.0. Maybe other armies did. I have a feeling other armies did, um but I you know what? I can do it. I just want to say real quick, I think it also helped with something when I went to the concert because when they did 2.0 in the concert, I was doing the dance with them. Try not to hit anybody, but I was doing the dance with them. And it okay, seeing them do 2.0 on stage felt exactly like when I first looked them up. Because when I first looked them up, I looked up Dynamite. After I had already almost mastered the extreme version of the dance on Just Dance. So, I already knew a portion of the choreography. So, it kinda connected me already in that moment. even though it wasn't an immediate, like, fan connection, it felt good knowing that I knew the dance. And when I was later learning more of their other music videos, I did the same thing with Butter and Boy with Love, and seeing the music videos, seeing them dance felt better knowing that I had already knew, like, part of their choreography. So, seeing them on stage doing 2.0 definitely brings me back to when I was first learning about them, and that little bit of connection that I can do the choreography. Um, I guess if you want me to do it, I'm gonna have to set up real quick. Hold on. All right. Can you still hear me? Let me know if you can still hear me, because I was using my earbuds as a mic. Okay, perfect. Because I was using my earbuds as a mic, but when I do 2.0, I can't do that. All right, just give me a minute. Man, you're in my way. Get over here. Give me a minute. I'm gonna go set up myself on the dance floor real quick. All right. I don't know how well this is going to work in here. Let me see. This is going to be a little bit of a work in progress, so just bear with me. Um, all right, let me see. I feel bad. It's at like the worst angle. I wish I could do it like front on, but I can't because then I would go out of the frame. Does it see me okay? Looks okay. Looks all right. All right, give me one more minute. One more minute. All right. I'm working on a much smaller screen than I anticipated working on because I also had it on my iPad, but iPad is dead. iPad is dead. So I'm gonna have to make do. Where's my? I have a tripod. Hold on. Go on out. Go on out. Mommy would love to see you. There we go. Backup plan. Tripod it is on a tiny phone. This will be my test, right? For 2.0, having to do it on a tiny screen like this. Can't do it on the TV because I swear if I do this on the TV, if I project it on the TV, one, it's going to take too long. Two, sometimes it cuts off and it angers me. Okay. Well, you know what? It ain't bad. It ain't bad. Alrighty. Ready? Ready to see how much I have learned from being an army. Let me just make sure it's all the way up. That's the ringer. Oh, my volume. There it is. Alrighty. Here we go. You hear it okay? 그래 낭만처럼 그게 말을 시키니 우린 팀플루가 맨날 뛰어넘어 웃기게는 한데 사실 안 웃기지 10년은 말이야 어린 방금 없어 You know how I do. Put your brand new, carry on that grinder. You know how we do. Ay. Better give them much brand new. Sky got a step, did you get a step 2, step 2, 2.0, take that. 여기저기 떠나버린 내 채널, 댄, DJ 말해보는 팝. Slow hard, yeah. Yeah, we get that slow hard. Yeah. Pull up, let you block. We don't knock. Yeah, at your little farm, fella. Pop. Yeah, get back for a smile. We don't stop. You know how I do. You know how I do. Put your brand new. Really on that brand new. You know how we do. Baby, get into the lit, rock. Yeah, hit him up like pop. Hit him with the truth like rock. Tryna pay you back. Feel me, not. Let it be. Hit it lit, and it's split. Yeah. Pull up, hit your block. We gon' knock. Yeah, at your little farm, fella. Pop. Yeah, get back for a smile. We don't stop. You know how I do. You know how I do. Put your brand new. Carry on that brand new. You know how we do. You know how I do. You know how I do. Put your brand new. Carry on that brand new. You know how we do. Whew. I messed up big time on that one. I'm a little rusty. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back to practicing on that one. It's always such a fun dance to do. I don't know why I stopped doing that. I need to go back to doing that. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate that. Out of breath just watching. Oh man. Maybe at some point on here I could also do the Just Dance versions. I'm gonna be honest with you, the extreme version of Dynamite and Butter I like more. The extreme version of Boy with Love, I like the normal version better. I don't know why. I guess it's because the extreme version is very tough because it has you doing like the normal move like this, but it also has you doing this turn back. It's really, really tough. And you got to do it quicker. But I feel like if I like really, really tried to practice it, I absolutely could. I could definitely do that. But one dance that I absolutely need to learn in terms of like doing Just Dance and everything with that would have to be 7. Because 7 is also on Just Dance, but there's no extreme version for it. It's just the one version of it, the easy version. And it doesn't match the choreography that Jungkook does in the slightest. It does this. I doubt that's what he does in 7. I'm gonna have to learn the actual choreography for it. But for sure, definitely some more dance practice. There's any choreography from BTS outside of Just Dance that I want to learn, it's Mic Drop. Mic Drop looks so fun. Mic Drop looks extremely fun. Love 7. Yeah, me too. If there was a dance from BTS that you would want to learn the choreography for, what would it be? Like if you had to pick one that you don't know the choreography to just yet. Because for me, it would be Mic Drop, which I think after I go back to practicing 2.0 again, that's going to be my number 1. And then maybe No as well. No was always one of my favorites. Actually, the more I think about it, every time I hear No, and whenever I see the music video, it takes me back to when I was doing the violin in elementary school, and I'm thinking I might want to pick it back up again, but I think I learned Mic Drop back in high school, but I can't remember. It's a really, really tough dance to learn. If Just Dance got back into doing BTS stuff, I feel like now that they have the new album, 2.0 will be incredible. Swim is also great choreography. But if I had to make a suggestion to Just Dance to pick another BTS track to do for one of their games, it would be Mic Drop. Mic Drop would be fantastic for Just Dance. But that's my opinion. I can't speak for everybody, but that would just be me. I think I'm lagging a bit, but okay, no worries. No worries. But what I was saying about the violin was like I kind of want to see if I get back into the violin, I'm gonna have to like kind of I guess relearn what the notes are and everything, but because it was so long ago. But I do remember when I had the violin, I had like the school had like a little tuning device that would be able to help me with the notes with tuning the strings, where you just clip it. I think it was on the strings, not on the bridge, but on the strings. Then you pluck it. It would tell you if it was tuned with the note that it needed to be. And if it was the wrong note, you would just turn the peg up or down and get it to the note that it needed to be, which it was very, very helpful. It was super simple. Just plug it in, clip it onto the strings, pluck it. You know if your violin is right from there or not. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna stay on for like another 10 minutes. I think will be a good time for me to stop. And so I'm gonna use this 10 minutes to do a couple of reminders. To first off, again, I want to turn this into a regular thing. I'm gonna do my best to turn it into a regular thing as possible, but these are pretty easy to do. So, and I'll be able to communicate with you guys in real time. If anybody after the stream is posted wants to see streams going forward, just remember, if you can catch the streams, they're gonna be. I'm gonna aim for them to be every Friday at 6 p.m. at 6 p.m. EST. 6 p.m. EST on Friday is when I'm gonna plan on doing these. And whether it's going to be like new stuff, old stuff, whatever the case may be. The biggest reason that I'm doing these is to communicate with Army, um, to be able to talk to you, to hear you, and to discuss what's going on with BTS, whether it be old stuff, new stuff. I might even do something a little bit fun because I'm not used to doing anything like big and fancy for these streams, but um, I might do like some fun borders or stuff like that to spice up the stream a little bit. So maybe make it cute. Um, but this is definitely super super fun. I'm sorry I was late again. Because trying to get the stream on, I had to learn the hard way that I can't do a live stream like this from my phone. Because if I did it from my phone, it would be a live short, and a live short is not really, to me. It's not as easy to find. It's even easier to scroll past, but it's not as easy to find. And I didn't want to do that anyway. I wanted to do a live stream like this. To be able to see you guys, talk to you guys in real time. Um, and I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm doing it. I'm glad I was able to do it this way. I'm going to see what I can do to kind of upgrade the stream a little bit on my end. But in the meantime, it's just going to be, even if I did that, it would just be a normal conversation between you and me. And I guess if any armies find this, definitely leave comments down below about discussions that you want to happen, topics that you want to be brought up, because even if you miss it, it's always going to be posted automatically afterwards. And that's going to be basically the big thing, so that everybody can see it whenever. If you ever wanted to go back to this, once again, it'll always be posted. But while this is going to be a little bit silly and a little bit fun, it's also going to be serious sometimes, because the BTS members definitely need us to come together to really understand what's going on, to understand them. And I feel like if we came together, all of us would be able to do that. And it's perfect because sometimes my schedule is not the same every week. Yeah, I know not everybody's is. So that's another reason why I wanted to do it this way, so that it would be able to be posted afterwards. But like I'm saying, because as bright and cheery as BTS usually is, it's some of the situations that are happening with them are not always that. And I think as Army, it's good to talk about it, whether it's something that we already know, or discussion on like different points. Not that it needs to be like a debate or anything. As long as it's brought up, as long as it's something that we're aware of, BTS will be able to count on us the way that they always have. And as long as we can help them, then I'll know that things will go easier on them. Because like with the way that we responded to, like I said before, the way that we responded to RM saying, hey, we're gonna push back our comeback until 2026. Army pretty much said no problem. And that's exactly what I want to come from this. I want Army to be able to discuss amongst ourselves, to be able to, I guess, think about things in a bigger picture, in a different light, maybe. But then, of course, there's always going to be the fun, goofy side of it. And with this, I also want to like go back to like past stuff, past goofiness. Definitely have a lot of fun with this. But like I said, I want to hear from your voices. I want to hear what Army has to say, not just me. But I'm going to be here as definitely a supportive Army, not just for BTS, but also for Army. I want to be here for you guys. I want to hear your journeys as Army. Since now you know mine, I want to hear yours as well. I want to hear your thoughts on the tour. If you've seen one of the concerts already, like I went to the one in Tampa on Saturday. If anybody saw any of the other shows so far, or if they're gonna see a show, let me know. And while I have a few extra minutes, one last thing that I really need you to hear is to please, please, if you haven't yet, please, please, please go to the link in the description of this live stream and vote for BTS for the upcoming music awards on Memorial Day. Because if we work our magic the way that we've been working our magic for years, we're going to crush it. BTS and Army will crush the music awards if we do this right. So in case you don't know, in the description when you go in there, there's many categories. I think that I forgot how much I said before, but there's so many. BTS has been nominated in 3 of them. It's Best Overall Artist of the Year. Swim was nominated for Best Summer Song, and BTS was also nominated for Best Male K-pop Artist. And you get 30 votes in each category. Going full Army mode, I pretty much just use those 30 votes in each category for BTS, but that's just me. If you see any other songs or artists in there that you absolutely love, definitely use those votes. Help them climb to the top. They could absolutely use your support. Whoever you're voting for, I really hope that they get that award. But for BTS, this is definitely our mission to help them win those awards. So definitely go into the description before Memorial Day and definitely use your votes to help them climb and help them win those awards. I'm really, really looking forward to the awards. Whoever wins, I really hope that they have a good time. Because that's really been my magic with all of this. It's just them having a good time. Hey, come here. Hey, come here. You want to be Army? You want to meet Army? Come here. Hi, baby. For those who don't know, this is Aphrodite, but we call her Rue. Come here, baby. She can be an Army dog for a day, or at least for another minute. Rue, you got people who know you want to see you. You give me a shake? Yay! Good girl. I don't think she even knows she's live right now. I don't think you know it, do you? You don't have to know BTS. You just have to be there and support me while I ramble through my arminess. When I was learning the dance to 2.0, I had to dance around her because she would lay like right there against the couch. She would lay on her bed. She would lay in the middle of the floor. I would have to dance around her. At least she would lie down. Like, you stop moving when I have to dance around you. She's looking outside. It's getting dark outside. It's been kind of gloomy all day, but that just means it's best inside weather, doesn't it? She can't. Yeah, pretty much. But it's all good. So, alrighty, guys. I am going to close this out for the night. She claimed her spot. You don't move a comfy dog. It's law. That's more cat law than dog law. For dogs, it's just a recommendation. For cats, it's a law. But for dogs, it's a recommendation. But speaking of her spot, she just laid down in it. But anyway, I'm going to close this out. Thank you all so much for tuning in, for watching. So true. If my cat sits somewhere, it's law. If a cat sits on you, it is forbidden to move. Thank you guys so much for such a fun stream. I had a fun time. I will continue to practice 2.0 to try and master it next time I come on here. So I hopefully won't fumble at the moves as much. It might also just be because I was on my phone on the tripod. I meant to go on my iPad, but it died while I was on stream, so I couldn't use it. But in any case, I will continue to do my best. And I will be seeing you guys next week. And if you're seeing this after it's posted, definitely go down below, comment your thoughts about what I was saying today. I want to hear about your journey as Army. I want to hear your thoughts on Arirang. I want to hear your thoughts on the tour. And or if you have seen a show yet so far. If you haven't yet, tell me what you're thinking of Arirang so far, and from what you've heard about the tour so far, your excitement, and let's chat. This is a full on Army zone at this point, so we're gonna keep it that way. We're gonna keep it going as an Army zone. So with that, Armies, I purple you. I love you. Mwah. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your day or night, depending on where you are. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.